Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. Come on in to the dinner table. It is dinner time. Come on, get some of that good food for the soul. You're going to enjoy what's on the menu tonight. Come on in, invite some more family members and friends because as you know, the table is always full of good soul food for everyone. So go ahead and invite. We're not going to run out of food, okay? So bring all the people in, my brothers and sisters. If this is your first time looking at this particular broadcast, welcome to the dinner table. And I would like to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I speak about relationships. When I talk about relationships, I talk about the relationship between that of a man and a woman. That's the type of relationship that I talk about. And why do I talk about that type of relationship? I talk about that type of relationship because God is the creator of relationships. And it's documented when you go to the book of Genesis, God had a unique relationship with the man Adam. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, God represented the woman to the man Adam, and Adam said in the presence of God, in reference to Eve, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. Now, if you have another position on relationship, you have what is called a free will. You do whatever you choose to do, but I do it the way God preferred for it to be done because it's documented in the book of Genesis when God created the man Adam and when he created the woman Eve. And it specifically say when God talked to Adam and Eve together, he said that I want you to be fruitful and multiply and to have dominion. So God talked to the man and the woman. And as you know, my brothers and sisters, God specifically said that it's not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helpmeet. And the Bible also clearly say that the man was not created for the woman, but the woman was created from the man. So this is where I come from when it comes to relationship. How you doing, Sister Tierra? Welcome to the dinner table. Come on in, my brothers and sisters. And I would like for you all to know I'm talking on two different platforms. I'm talking on the book and I'm talking on the tube. If I make a reference to someone on the tube, though you're on the book, you may not see it, okay? And vice versa, if I make a comment to those of you on the book, those you on the tube may not see it, okay? But we're family here, okay? So we're about to get into this interesting um, topic or what's on the menu. If you look at the menu, my brother and sister, tonight we are going to really talk about this particular topic. If a man tells a woman that he loves her but doesn't marry her, is it real? That's what we're going to embark on tonight. Listen to it very carefully. Look at the menu. If a man tells a woman that he loves her but doesn't marry her, is it real? What do I mean, is it real? Is the love real? Because when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, the couple's supposed to be serious, the couple's supposed to be committed, and the couple's supposed to move towards a covenant relationship. That's how relationships are supposed to go. You're supposed to jump those three hurdles, being serious. That means serious minded. That man and woman need to be serious minded. And once that man and woman is serious minded, that man and woman needs to make a decision. And that decision is, where are we going to go with this relationship? So the next phase of the relationship is committing to one another. That man commits 100% into the relationship. That woman commits 100% into the relationship. Then what is left? If that man and woman is serious, if that man and woman is invested in the relationship 100%, if you do it God's way is for that man and woman to get to the covenant stage of relationship. Now, what is the covenant stage of the relationship? The covenant stage of a relationship from God's point of view is marriage. And if you know this, my brother and sister, God only endorses a relationship from the point when a man and woman gets engaged, leading towards marriage, or that man and woman get married. That's how God views a relationship. God does not view a relationship between a man and a woman as half-stepping. God is not a God of half-stepping. God is a full God. And since God, he defines what a relationship is. Since God created a relationship, God could say how a relationship is supposed to go. Now, he give a man and a woman options of relationship, but man and woman way is not correct. God way is correct because God is the author and finisher of everything. And he is the one who could dictate what a relationship should be like. Now, what is the real proof, my brothers and sisters? What is the real proof that a man loves a woman? And how far, just how far would that man go to express his love for the woman? Can a man love a woman and be real if he really doesn't marry her? So that's what we're discussing right here at the dinner table. So you getting it fresh, you getting it real fresh. It's coming right out the oven. It's hot. It didn't come out the microwave. It's coming right out the oven. Now, on the menu tonight, my brothers and sisters, on the menu tonight, I can expect the men's of this world isn't going to like the food for the soul tonight. As I say, the men of the world is not going to like what's on the dinner table tonight. And not only the men of the world, there's going to be some women of the world that is not going to like what's on the menu tonight. Because you know why? Because I'm going to address the elephant in the room. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Now, what does the elephant in the room mean? I know a lot of us have heard that terminology before, but what really does it mean, the elephant in the room? The elephant in the room, my brother and sister, basically means a major problem or controversial issue that is obvious present, but avoided as a subject for discussion because it's more comfortable to do so. So that's what the elephant in the room, this one I'm talking about tonight, is a major problem and it could be controversial. So it's a major problem and controversy. There's going to be plenty of opinions out there on what I'm talking about. Now, what does love really mean? We're going to look at it from a dictionary standpoint, and then we're going to look at it from God's standpoint. When we look at it from the dictionary, the word love is defined as an intense feeling or deep affection. Listen to it again. From the dictionary, the word love is defined as an intense feeling of deep affection. Now, from the biblical standpoint, when you look at it from God's viewpoint, and you look at John 3:16, again at John 3:16, God clearly defined what love is from his perspective. It said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So what did God do? To prove love, God gave his best. Okay, so God gave his best. So for a man and a woman to be in a relationship, that man, starting with the man, supposed to give his best to the woman. And the woman in return is supposed to give her best to the man. That means that the man needs to invest 100% into the relationship. And the woman needs to invest 100% in the relationship. There's no such thing as 50-50 when it comes to a relationship. There's no such thing as 70 30. There's no such thing as 40 60. None of those percentages when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister. So a man and woman needs to be all in when it comes to a relationship. Now there are two more words that I'm about to define to get really into what I'm going to talk about. Now this is a key word. The key word is first pattern. Now what is a pattern? A pattern, my brother and sister, is defined as a form or model proposed for imitation. Okay, again, pattern is defined as a form or model proposed for imitation. And what does model mean? Model is a physical representation that shows what it looks like or how it works. Now, if a man, my brothers and sisters, conveyed to a woman that he loves her and only her, can he love her totally without getting married? Well, it really, if he really claims to love her, Jesus is the ultimate pattern, and Jesus is the ultimate model or role model how a man should love a woman. So when we go to when we go to Ephesians 5:25, again, that's Ephesians 5:25, Ephesians 5:25, God word clearly say, husband, love your wives just as Christ loved the church. And what did he do? He gave himself for her. And now when we go back to John 3:16, what did God do? God so loved the word that he gave his only begotten son. So when we go down here to Ephesians 5:25, how you doing, Sister Vale? How you doing? And when we go to Ephesians 5:25, it said, husband, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So Christ is the model. Christ is the pattern how a man should love his woman. It's documented. I'm going to say it again. In Ephesians 5:25, it said, husband, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So the Lord is the standard of how a man should look at how he should conduct himself when it comes to a relationship with a woman. Now, as you know, Christ, right now, presently, Christ is like the model of a groomsman. And the woman is like the model of a bride. When the Lord comes back during the rapture and he gets the church, not the building, but the people, that's when the marriage take place. You understand? So if you look at Jewish history, my brothers and sisters, you look at Jewish history, the marriage was mostly focused on the groom, not the bride. In the Western world, when it comes to marriage, it's mostly focused on the woman. But in the Eastern world, it is more focused on the man. Jesus gave a story about the 10 virgins. Five of them, they was ready when he came, and 5 were not ready. You see, this is when you look at it from the Middle East standpoint, when Jesus was telling the story, the father decide when the son is coming to get his bride. The son go prepare a place for the bride. Just like Jesus, when he told his disciples, I'm gonna go prepare a place for you, and I'm gonna come back. And where I'm at, that's where you're gonna be. So that's the mindset a man's supposed to have when it comes to a woman. He's supposed to go and prepare a place for the woman. And when he go and prepare a place for the woman, he's supposed to let her know that he's ready. If a man is imitating the pattern and steps of Christ, he is serious on day one. The man's supposed to be serious on day one. How you doing, Sister Flo? Welcome to the dinner table. The man's supposed to be serious on day one. Just like the Lord let people know that he wants a serious and committed relationship. The man's supposed to have the mindset of Christ, and he's supposed to follow Jesus' footsteps when it comes to a woman. He's supposed to convey to the woman, I want a serious and committed relationship. And then the woman in return, she just like the church, she have a decision to make. She will accept or she will not accept. It's not forced on her. But the man take the initiative. As a matter of fact, the man's supposed to be willing to commit first to the woman. And the woman in return, she either accept and reject if you look at the pattern of Christ in the church. So when you look at Christ, he initiates. And the only thing he does is knock, and he plead his case, and he either wants you to accept or reject him. And that's how a man's supposed to do. When he goes in front of the woman, he let her know his position. And what is the man's position? Look, I'm serious. I don't want to waste my time. I do not want to waste your time. I want to be 100% in. Or are you going to be 100% in with me? Because I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I'm not looking for a boo. I'm not no night rider, so I'm not riding that night only to see you. How you doing, mother? Welcome to the dinner table. How you doing, Sister Cheryl? Welcome to the dinner table. So if a man model his approach to a woman as Christ, he's supposed to do just like Christ. What I'm talking about tonight, my brothers and sisters, the world will not accept what I'm talking about. When I say the world, worldly men are going to get upset with me. Worldly women are going to get upset with me. Because as I stated, when you look at going back to Ephesians 5:25, Ephesians 5:25, Ephesians 5:25, they said, husband, love your wife just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. That's how a man's supposed to love a woman. That is exactly how a man's supposed to love a woman. How you doing, Sister Bree? Welcome to the dinner table. It doesn't say boyfriend love your girlfriend. It doesn't say that. You see, with Christ, if a man's supposed to walk in Christ's footstep, he's supposed to have the mindset of a husband, not a boyfriend, not someone that's just going to string a woman along. And the woman's supposed to be serious too. Now, let's talk in the form of some questions, my brother and sister. Let's talk in the form of some questions. For those of you that come into the dinner table tonight, that's what's on the menu is if a man tells a woman that he loves her, but doesn't marry her, is it real? Again, if a man tells a woman he loves her, but doesn't marry her, is it real? Now, Christ is real. Christ is real. And when we go back to, again, I got to reinforce this, okay? John 3:16. This is what love is. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So God gave his best. God was all in. The man's supposed to give his best. The man's supposed to be all in. Going back to Ephesians 5:25, husband love your wife just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. The key word is gave, and supposed to give his best. Okay? The man's supposed to give his best. Well, if he really loves the woman as he claims, Christ is the pattern, and Christ is the model for a man to walk after. Christ is all in. A man is all in. As you know, my brother and sister, when it comes to a relationship, the Bible clearly says that God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of man, and man is the head of woman. When it says man is the head of woman, it's talk about his woman, not women plural. It's talk about his woman in a marriage. Because you see, Christ and God have a relationship, intimate relationship. Christ and the man have an intimate relationship. The man and the woman have an intimate relationship. So God is all in all from the top to the bottom. So God is serious. God is committed, and God would want a covenant relationship with a man and a woman that's being the church, not no building. It's a group of called out people. Now going back to let's talk in the form of question. Number one, when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman, is it God's way or man's way? This is where we got to make a decision. Is it going to be God's way or man's way? As we know, God created everything. So if God created everything, God has the exclusive right to dictate and say how things are supposed to be. When we go back to Genesis, God created, and we know the story, he created a man and he created a woman. God said it's not good for man to be alone. When God brought Eve to Adam, he did not bring Eve to Adam to be a girlfriend. He brought Eve to Adam to be a wife. When God brought Rebekah to Isaac, he brought Rebekah in to be a wife, not a girlfriend. When he brought Ruth to Boaz, he did not bring Ruth to Boaz to be a girlfriend. When he got Mary and Joseph together, he did not want Joseph and Mary to be boyfriends and girlfriends. God does not endorse a man playing with a woman like that or a woman playing with a man like that. This what I'm telling you tonight, my brothers and sisters, it is going to be salt in some men's and women's eyes. It's going to be like a sore wound where you can put your finger in and twist it. That's how some men and women going to take it how I'm saying. Now, back to the question, when it comes to a relationship between a man and woman, is it God's way or man's way? You have to make a choice. Worldly men and worldly women, they don't see nothing wrong with living a life of not being serious, committed in a covenant relationship. So if a man and woman, because God gives them a free will anyway. But you see, the thing about it is when God gives the man and the woman free will, whenever a man and woman exercise their free will minus God, it never gets to how it's supposed to be. A man and a woman that doesn't do it God's way will never experience true love. A man that is not willing to commit 100% to a woman, be serious 100% with a woman, be committed 100% with a woman, and move towards the covenant relationship, it's a fantasy. And I'm not talking bad about men in general. I'm talking about worldly men. I'm not talking about my brothers in Christ, because my brother in Christ is supposed to know better. Worldly men they're going to dislike what I'm telling you. You see, worldly men, my sisters, they want to, I'll get to that later, but worldly men want to call the shots, and they want to say that we don't need that paper. I'm going to talk about that shortly. We don't need that paper. Worldly men got their own way of a relationship. And the sad part about it, a lot of women, they buy that program. And then you got some women that are not only buy the program, they want the program like that. So a man and a woman, they go around not doing it God's way. But the world accepts it. You know why the world accepts it? Because the world loves its own. So the answer to number one, when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman, is it God's way or man's way? It should be God's way. That's a choice a man and a woman have to make. Number two, why do some men strongly oppose God's way of a relationship, especially when it comes to being married? I'm going to ask that question again. Why do some men strongly oppose God's way of a relationship, especially when it comes to being married? Because man in general is rebellious. Man want to be independent like their dad is Satan, the worldly men. They want to be independent of God. What they don't realize, God is the one that called them to breathe, to move, to do everything. No man can do nothing by himself, even Jesus. And some of you know what I'm about to say. Jesus said, I am the what? Vine, and ye are the branches. You cannot do nothing without me. If Jesus wants you to stop breathing right now, he don't even have to snap his finger. All he has to do is say the word, don't breathe. He could call you by name and say, don't breathe, and you can't breathe. But he's not that kind of God. He let you breathe. God let the sun rise up, and he let the rain come down on the righteous and the unrighteous. So God gives you what is called a free will. So man in general, worldly men, they're rebellious and they want to do it their way. And when we narrow it down to the United States of America, there are more relationships that are not doing it God's way. And it's so prevalent out there where the world accepts it, and it's nothing, it's nothing new. The world accepts it how it is. And this how the world accepts it. Some from your family, some people, family member and friend, they look at a man and woman as they married, but they're not married. They are boyfriends and girlfriends. They've been boyfriends and girlfriends from years. Gonna die boyfriends and girlfriends. That's not God's way. They're not serious about one another. The man should be more committed first in a relationship than a woman. If a man gonna follow the Lord's way, remember the Lord initiate. When Jesus came down from heaven, he initiated. When it came to saving man and woman's soul, Jesus initiated. Man's supposed to initiate. When Jesus talked to man and woman, their only response was what? To accept or reject what he was talking about, because he was ready for a relationship now. The Lord don't say nothing about tomorrow as far as being in a relationship. He said today. The Lord always say today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. He said today. A man's supposed to be thinking about a woman when it comes to a serious committed relationship. I want to get serious today. I want to commit today. And we need to make a plan to say I do on a certain date, not leave it open. Number 3, why do some women accept the concept of why buy the cow when you could get the milk free? Again, why do some women, worldly women, accept the concept of why buy the cow when you could get the milk free? What am I talking about? There are a lot of women that are in relationship with these guys, and they're playing the role of a wife. They're playing the part. Why play the part when you could be it real? You're doing that stuff like they do on TV. And that's how that's how a lot of worldly men view women. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk free? What do I mean by that? Let's say that, and I said it before. Case in point, you live on a farm, right? And then Kroger's are one of those supermarkets in the city. The cow is in the barn. Instead of going to the store to get the milk, you go to the barn and get the milk because it's there. I'm not calling a woman a cow, but it's there. And it's free. Don't have to do nothing for it. It's free. So there are a lot of women, worldly women, they accept that concept. They accept that the man say, you my boo, you my woman, but you're not my wife. I don't look at you as a wife. I look at you as playing the part of a wife. Yes, I would say I love you because I'm getting everything free from you. But they're not getting everything from you. The only thing they could get from you that's tangible is the physical. They can't, it ain't nothing spiritual. When I say spirit, there's nothing good spiritually about that relationship. Let's take the curtain and pull the curtain back. What do we really see in a relationship like that? What we see in a relationship like that, we don't see God in the relationship. God is nowhere in that type of relationship. I can tell you who is in that relationship. Satan is in that relationship. You see, God is either going to be in a relationship or he's not. He's not going to force himself in a relationship. So if you don't have God, you got to have some spirit in there. So if you don't have God's spirit, you're going to have Satan's spirit. If you do not do it God's way, whose way are you doing it? You got a master. Whether you want to admit it or not, you got a master. God is your master or Satan is your master. And a lot of women, you put yourself in that situation. And it's sad to say some of my sisters of Christ, you put yourself in that situation. You see clearly that that man is not planning on marrying you. You clearly see it. You've been clearly seeing it for years. But you give him everything you giving to him. And then that one day when he decides to bounce on you, you're going to get hurt. You're going to cry. You're going to go to your family. You're going to go to your friends. You might even go to social media and you're going to talk about he's a dirty dog. But you played with that dog and he put fleas on you. You felt the itch. Now he's a dog. He was no dog when you were laying down there with him. But now he's a dog. And guess what that dog did? That dog went and married somebody. He was with you for 20 years. And then he go marry somebody else. If your legs were long enough, you would kick yourself in your own behind. You knew it. You seen it. You kept hoping, wishing, but it never came to fruition. Now he's gone with another woman. Why you want to talk about him now? He gave you that, and you all know where I'm about to go to. He gave you that engagement ring for some of you. He gave you that ring. He didn't put no date on it. You didn't put no date on it. There are some women right now that's wearing that same ring for years. They don't even want nobody to ask when you're going to get married. And they come up with excuses. Like a lot of you sisters, when you see women flashing those rings on social media and stuff like that, that doesn't mean that they finna get married. Don't get it twisted. Just because they got an engagement ring and it could be a big, beautiful diamond on it, that doesn't mean she's going to get married. Majority of those rings are shut-up rings. When a man give a woman, if you want to go that route in the engagement route, how you doing, little sister Renee? If you want to go the engagement route, you need a date. If a man going to go to a woman and say, will you marry me? And she said, yes, he should come up with a date. And she should, if she's going to accept the ring, she might as well go along with the date. No man should give a woman a ring without a date. But most men, they would get out in public, they would get on their knees, they would be at a game, a football, basketball game, and they'll be on that big screen, and they would get on their knees in front of the world, ask the lady to get married. The lady put her hand up her face like this, like she's so surprised. It's going to happen. As a matter of fact, it's going to happen next week. What is next week? Next week is Christmas, right? There are going to be some men that are going to give a woman a shut-up ring. She thinking it's an engagement ring. He going to give it to her in front of her family and her friends. She going to show it on social media, but don't have a date. We have to get back with you on a date. That guy was not serious. So when all the excitement is over with, and she still got that shut-up ring on, it's not no engagement ring. Went to the jewelry store and went and said, I want to look at some engagement rings. And the jeweler showed him some engagement ring. He probably could have went to the pawn shop and got an engagement ring. Or if he didn't go to a pawn shop, it probably was a ring that he had for another woman, or another woman got, or he took it back from her. It's still a shut-up ring. And no date. Time go by. He's not serious. You know why he's not serious? Because he doesn't believe in Christ. Yeah, I'm here to tell you, if a man believed in Christ, he would follow Christ's example. He would be serious. He would be committed, and he would move towards the covenant relationship. Because the Bible clearly say, I got to go to it again. Ephesians 5:25. Ephesians 5:25. It said, husband, love your wife just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for it. That's the pattern, and that's the example. Worldly men, if a worldly man hear me say that, they're going to try to turn it on me, and they're going to say, that's your opinion. That's not my opinion. That's why most of the time I say to my brother and sister, don't you all remember me saying based time? It is written. Majority of the time I say it is written, and I say where I got the source from. So I'm telling you tonight, if you are in a relationship with a man, he said he's serious about you. He said he want to be committed to you, but he won't marry you. That's a worldly thinking man. And a lot of women, and I hate to say some of my sisters, you accept that crap. And you go along with it. And especially if you're a daughter of God, you shouldn't even go along with it. You see, if you're a daughter of God, you should be serious about yourself. You're supposed to be serious about your relationship with Christ. So you're supposed to be serious about yourself. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk free? How you doing, Jan? Welcome to the dinner table. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk free? You think it's cute walking around all those years with a man and he ain't showing you nothing. And brothers, let me tell you this. If you are trying to follow Christ and you deal with a woman and she don't want to be serious, commit, and move towards a covenant relationship, you need to cut her loose. All she's going to do is use you. You are an ATM machine, because a lot of worldly women out there, you're an ATM machine. They want the ring, but they don't want you. They want what you could do for them, not who you are. Number 4, why do some men and women view the marriage license as not necessary to be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship? I'm going to ask that question again. Why do some men and women view the marriage license as not necessary to be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship? Now, this is something what a lot of men say. We don't need no piece of paper to say that we're in a relationship. We don't need no piece of paper to say that we married. A lot of men staying here in the United States and they're trying to play that stuff like they do over in the Middle East. You see, the thing about it, if you're in the United States, you're supposed to go by the laws of the country that you're in. Case in point, let's let God answer this question, okay? Let's go to God and see what God say about the law of the land, okay? As it is written in Romans 13, chapter 1, Romans chapter 13, verse 1 through 2. Romans chapter 13, 1 through 2. Romans chapter 13, 1 through 2. It is written, let everyone be subject to the governing authority, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authority that exists have been established by God. Coincidentally, whoever rebel against the authority is rebelling against God, what God has instituted, and those who do will be bringing judgment on themselves. What does that mean? It means God set up the government, even if you have evil men there. If you have evil men and women there, God established the government. But again, it said, let everyone be subject to the governing authority. If you in the United States of America, you're supposed to go by the law of the land as long as it doesn't violate God's law. If the United States of America say you need a marriage license, you need a marriage license. And this is where some men gets me. And this is where some women get me. They don't rebel against getting a driver license, do they? They go ahead and get that driver license, don't they? Because they know they need a driver license to get on the road, right? But if they don't get it, they violate and they can get in trouble. They don't have no problem getting a business license, do they? They may complain, but they go ahead and get that business license, don't they? Or they like to hunt. They know they need to get a license to hunt. So why does a man get a driver license? Because your state government, your government say you need a driver license. Why? It say if they want a business, they want a legitimate business, it say you need a business license. They get the business license, right? Then United States of America. Then they want to hunt. They want to do that big game hunt. They need a license. So they may complain about the driver license. They say, I could drive. I don't need no driver license. I tell you what, get in your car, go out there and let the police pull you over. And you're going to see how the government treats you on that. Go open a business. Go open a business, a big business, and you make money and stuff. And you're not paying that tax. Because that business license, you're going to have to pay. And you know, taxes is two things that guaranteed, death and taxes. You got the business license, right? You have to register if you're going to have one of these established business. Now, there's some business that aren't established now, but according to where you stay at in the United States of America, you need a business license. So you see what I'm saying? God's word in Romans 13, chapter 13, 1 through 2 is telling you that everyone is subject to governing authorities. In the United States of America, majority of the states are governed and say that you need a marriage license. There are a few states that got it, whereas if you live with someone for X amount of time, they recognize you as being married. You understand? So for those men that say, I don't need no marriage license, and you're in the United States of America, and if you're one of those states, because I'm in Georgia, right? Georgia is one that you need a marriage license. You need a marriage. I tell you what, that's why some people mess up sometimes. Like I'm in the state of Georgia. I'm in the state of Georgia. If I was not married to her, and let's say we have established some things together, and I die, my mama, my sisters, my brother, my children, they could come and say, that's Tony's stuff. We have a right to it. Cinderella could say, we built that together. They could tell Cinderella, bump you. That's Tony's stuff. We want Tony PlayStation. Let me get serious. What am I saying? If Cinderella and I are not married, let's say, let's hypothetically speaking, I'm just throwing something out there. Hypothetically speaking, let's say I got $100,000 life insurance. Cinderella and I, we're not married. That's right, little sister, not a place like Cinderella and I not married. I die. My mama or my sister or my children find out that I got $100,000 life insurance. Cinderella thinks she finna cash in on it. If I have her name there. Now, Cheryl said, I want Tony PlayStation. Okay, I tell Cinderella about that. Sister Flo said station that, yeah. They found out that I got $100,000 life insurance. But Cinderella and I not married. But I got Cinderella as a beneficiary on the insurance paper, right? I die. Cinderella thinks she finna get $100,000, right? My mama, sister, or one of my children so find out about it. They're gonna say, whoa, he left $100,000. They may change on Cinderella, even though they may like her now. I'm just talking hypothetically. Then it's stuff end up in court. Even if Cinderella's name is on it and we're not married, other people can have a claim to it. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Let's say, for example, even if it comes to a house, a man and a woman in the state of Georgia could not, they're not married, but they got a house together. And it's some most states like that, got a house together. And one of them died. And they're not married. But in the state where they stay at, they're supposed to be married. They're supposed to have a marriage license. Like I said, I'm in the state of Georgia, and there's some most states like this. You got to be married. That family member could come in and claim, say, I want that house. I want part of that house. I want part of his part or part of her part. And it get in court. Then a judge have to decide about that. And it's sad, but it's true. It may get to the point where the judge says, sell the house and split up the money. So Tierra said, you don't get anything if you're a girlfriend or mistress. By law, only wife is entitled to everything. That is what I'm talking about, Tierra. Thank you, sister. Sister Tierra said, it's the same way here in Maryland. Only a wife is recognized. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, my brother and sister. So you want to play house, right? You want to play house. Did I not just read in Romans 13, 1, 3, 13, 1, I mean, 13, 1 through 2, 13, 1 through 2, 13, 1 through 2 from Romans. Listen to it again. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities. That's the state, federal, that's the local, state, and federal government. For there is no authority except that which God has established, even if the wicked men running it. The authority that exists have been established by God. Coincidentally, whoever rebel against the authority, rebelling against God. God has instituted, and those who do so will be brought into judgment by themselves. So some men and women, you got to, how should I say it? A hard head make a soft, you know what? A hard head make a soft, you know what? And you all know what I'm talking about, but I can't say it. But you know what I'm talking about. There's a whole bunch of hard-headed men out there. There's a whole bunch of hard-headed women out there. You think the federal government is McDonald's, you can have it your way. Not at Burger King. You think you can have it your way at Burger King, don't you? Don't play with the government. If the government said get that license, you get the license. But you got a whole bunch of brothers around here, and they teaching other brothers, we don't need no paper to do this and that. And these are fools. These are street fools. Now then they'll be telling somebody like me, you a fool for getting that paper, because she could take everything from you. That's what they'll say. If you got stuff on paper, she could come and take everything from you. That's what they'll say. If you're not married to them, somebody else gonna take it away. Because when you dead, that's where a whole bunch of fighting gonna come up when you die. So I'm telling you now, you sisters and you brothers that plan relationships, you better recognize some things. I'm trying to help you. But when I'm talking about the dinner table tonight, a whole bunch of people are not going to like what I'm talking about. Because you know what? They want me to tell them some sweet stuff to tickle their ears. I'm not here to tickle your ear. I'm not here to put no sugar in your tea. I'm here to put salt on your steak. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here because I care about family. You Christian brother, you Christian sister, you are family to me. Some of you are single, some of you are married. There are people that aren't Christians. They're people of the world. They would talk about this stuff, what I'm saying. They said that man, he talk a whole bunch of crazy stuff. When they talk about that man, they talk about me. If they talk about that man talking a whole bunch of crazy stuff because they rebel, because see, I give them the source. I go strictly by what God's word say. It is written. But they want to say this is my opinion. This is not my opinion. I will state my opinion every now and then, but when I talk to you, brother and sister, I'll be putting facts up. This is not no fantasy. This is real life. If you want fantasy, look at TV. Look at a coloring book. Go to the movie for your fantasies. This ain't Disney World. You go to Disney World for a fantasy, but you got to pay for a fantasy. Be real. So I'm telling you, if a man tells a woman that he loves her but doesn't marry her, is it real? That's the question at the dinner table. Sister, if a man tells you he loves you, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, he does not love you. He like you. Because I always tell you this, sister. I always say a man knows how far he wants to go with you. We know there's no guessing. But if you want the man to string you along, let him go ahead and string you along. That's why they said that thing, why buy the cow when the milk is free? When you can get the milk free. He don't love you. You think he love you. No man can love you unless Christ is in him anyway. If Christ is in the man, he would do it Christ's way. If he doesn't do it Christ's way, especially when it comes to a relationship, he does not love you. He like what you can do for him. Brother, if a woman doesn't want to do it Christ's way, it's not about you. It's about what you can do for her. Again, any of you Christian brothers that dealing with a worldly woman, if she does not want to do it God's way, if she wants you to compromise, don't compromise with her. Why would some brothers and sisters, why would you bring yourself down here? Even though you humble, you up here with Christ. Christ bring you up. Why are you selling down for worldly men and women? Why you want to go by worldly men and women causing you to compromise how God wanted to be? Sister, if a man doesn't follow in Christ's footsteps as far as the relationship, you need to, if he north, you go south. If he east, you go west. Brother, if a woman don't want to do it God's way, the same thing. If you south, go north. If she west, you go east. How can two walk together unless they agree? It's a spiritual thing, my brother and sister. A man that is spiritual driven will do it the right way. A woman that is spiritual driven will do it the right way. If you do not do it God's way, you're going to be missing some important things when it comes to a relationship. Stop living your life with a man, sister, and brother. Stop living your life halfway with a woman that doesn't want to do it God's way. God's way is God don't bring girlfriends and boyfriends together. He doesn't do it. That man and woman decide to do it, and they're influenced by Satan because that's Satan's system. Satan's system is a counterfeit to God. A man cannot love a woman how he's supposed to love her unless, according to the Bible, as it is written in Ephesians 5:25, what position it is? It said husband. It don't say boyfriend. It said husband. It don't say boo. It said husband. It don't say friend. It said husband. It said husband love your wife. It don't say girlfriend. It don't say honey. It don't say my old lady. It don't say my boo. You got to do it right. If you, because husband are the only ones that can love a woman. And when I say husband, I talk about a godly husband. Because a godly husband has Christ in him. And a wife, we talk about a godly woman. We ain't talk about the average wife, a worldly wife. We ain't talk about a worldly husband. We talk about a man that's a husband that's following God. And we talk about a woman that's following God. How you doing, sister, brother? Welcome to the dinner table. That's what we talking about. So I'm telling you, sisters, I know you probably, some of my sisters, I know right now, you think about not coming to the dinner table no more. You really think about not coming to the dinner table no more. Am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? Some of you brothers, am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? Keep doing it the word way and see how far you go. You're going to go so far. But without God, you're not going to do nothing. Unless the Lord build a house, you labor in vain. Who's building your house? Is God, Son of Jesus, building your house, or the adversary, Satan? You got the foundation on one of them. You see, the Lord right here, he's the rock. Satan is that shifting sand. The houses could look the same, but it's that foundation. What is your foundation? Is it Christ or is it the world? You serving a master. You think you independent, brother? You think you independent, sister? You serving one of them. By default, if you play the default role, it's instantly Satan. How you doing, Sister Thomas? Word to them table, instantly Satan, and you want to play the middle. And brother, let me tell you this. If the woman at the dinner table, I say, if a man tells a woman that he loves her but doesn't marry her, is it real? If a woman can't respect you, brother. You see, men look at love as respect. You see, women, y'all look at love different than we do. You see, we equate love with respect. Brothers, women equate love with emotions. You got to, don't get it twisted. Men view, that's why we got two different viewpoints on love. You see, women are more romantic. Men are more analytical. Women basically go on their feelings. Men go basically on their analytics. You understand? Now, those of you, before I depart from you tonight, ask yourself this question. I'm going to ask the sister first. If you've been talking to a man and he tell you he loves you and he haven't moved toward being engaged to you with a date, or if he's not married to you, can you really say he loves you? If he does it Christ's way, because what is Christ's way? What is Christ's way? Let's go back to it. Ephesians 5:25. It say, husband, love your wives. And then he get an example, just as Christ loved the church. So if Christ loved the church, does he love you the same way Christ loved the church? You see, Christ loved the church where he gave himself. He was serious, he was fully committed. He want that covenant relationship. That man that you with, is he willing to lay down his life for you? I ain't talking about paying your bills. Is he willing to lay down his life for you? Is he afraid to die? Is he scared to die for you? Christ was not afraid to die. Is that man with you afraid to die, or will he stand behind you and let you catch the bullet? Or if you hear some noise in the house and you say, wake up, wake up, wake up. Somebody downstairs. And he wants you to go down there with him. Or he act like he don't hear nothing. Does he love you? You don't want to face the reality, do you? Especially the word when they don't want to face the reality. Next week coming up, remember next week coming up, that's when a whole bunch of shut up rings going to be coming out. Stay tuned to social media. You're going to see some of those shut up rings coming out. Sisters, if you single and you don't get an engagement ring, don't feel bad. Unless it's the right man. Don't feel bad, because a lot of women that are going to be showcasing, don't feel bad. Don't feel envious that they got it. Just because they got it, like I say, a whole bunch of shut up rings going to be going out next week. Some of those women, they got that shut up ring last Christmas. And some of them are going to get it this Christmas. So when you see it, they're going to be flashing on social media, I guarantee you. You might be in the presence of someone when you see the man get on his knee and pledge your love for the woman. But notice this, when he pledged his love for her and she put her face like this, her hand on her face, and then she started crying. No date. I tell you what, if you happen to be in the presence of a man and a woman, and he asks her to be engaged, and she accepts, ask him. This is a test time. Ask him. That was now just say something like this. That was not what you just did. Now tell me this, and he gonna say what? Cause he gonna be cheesing. Say, okay, when you gonna get married? When is the date? And see what he say. He's not gonna give you no details. He's not gonna give you no detail. I'm gonna tell you about your brother Tony. When I talked to her about marriage, you know what I did? I called her. Her birthday was coming up. I said, Cinderella. She said, what? I said, what you doing for your birthday? I don't know what. Then she said, what we gonna do? I said, this is what we gonna do. I said, your birthday is October the 9th, right? She said, yes. I said, we're gonna get married on your birthday. She said, what? I said, we're gonna get married October the 9th on your birthday. I said, are you down with me? She said, yes. I said, don't tell nobody. I said, don't tell no. I don't know whether she told nobody because it ain't got back to me yet. But I said, don't tell anyone. I said, we're going to get married October the 9th. And after we get married October the 9th, then we'll let people know. You see what I did? I came with a date. I'm not trying to lift myself up, but I came with a date. After 3 months of knowing her, it don't take no man no long period of time. Sister Brown said, that's my birthday too. All right then, Sister Brown. It don't take us no long period of time. If a man be telling y'all that crap, it's a crap. This is not no dump on men day. This is a dump on worldly men, not Christian. Let's get it straight. Not Christian men, because you know better. This not no dump down on Christian women. This is about worldly women. Worldly men, worldly women. Okay, Cheryl said her son's birthday is the day before. All right, the month of October. The month of October. Anyway, I hope you all got something out of this. If a man tell a woman that he loves her but doesn't marry her, it's not real. He like you. He like you playing the part of a wife. He can get an academy or Emmy. You know why I'm coming down so hard on worldly men? Because God placed a man, supposed to place a man as the head of the relationship. The woman's supposed to be the heart of the relationship. God put the man as the head. So if he's the head, your head, my brother and sister, your head tell your body what to do. You understand? You see this hand right here? Wave at them hand. You see? Now, what if my hand tell my head to look that way? Talk hand. Talk hand. Turn to the left. Turn to the left. I'm not obeying my hand. Now watch this. Hand, point up to the ceiling. You follow what I'm saying? The man is the head of the relationship. Sister, the man that don't want to do it Christ's way, he don't have no headship qualities. He wants you to be the head. He wants you to make the decisions. He don't know Christ. He know about Christ. He don't know Christ. He's not real. You think he's real because he pay your bills, right? You think he's real because he take you on those exotic trips. You think he's real because he doing all that nice stuff for you. He ain't real. He's not the real McCoy, baby. But anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this at the dinner table tonight. I know some people not going to like it, especially a lot of worldly men. I know a lot of worldly women ain't no like that, but I don't care. I'm not here for them to like me. I'm here to tell the truth. Like I said, am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters. I hope that you share some of this with your other family members and friends. Take some of the carry-out plates with you. I clean the kitchen. You ain't got to do nothing. I clean the kitchen. All I want you to do is enjoy it. Get your toothpick and do like that and say, "Woo, that was a good meal. I want to carry out." Those of you that are on the tube, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. Make your comments and your likes, and the same thing to you, brother and sister. You all have a good evening. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out.